Deadly ambush near the White House. What happened on November 26, 2025? On the afternoon of November 26, 2025, two members of the West Virginia National Guard were critically wounded in a shooting just 2 blocks from the White House, near the intersection of 17th and I Streets NW, close to the Farragut West Metro Station in downtown Washington, D.C. According to authorities, the attack occurred around 2:15 p.m. when a lone gunman approached the guards and opened fire in what officials described as an ambush-style assault. A brief exchange of gunfire followed before security forces subdued and apprehended the shooter, who was also wounded during the incident. Officials confirmed that there was no indication of additional suspects. The two injured National Guard members were rushed to nearby hospitals and reported to be in critical condition. Their identities were not released to the public. Suspect identified. Law enforcement identified the gunman as Ramanullah Lakanwal, a 29-year-old Afghan national who arrived in the United States in 2021 through the Resettlement Initiative following the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. He had recently been granted asylum after applying the previous year and was living in Washington state prior to the attack. Investigators have not established a clear motive, but the case is being treated as a potential act of terrorism. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force is leading the investigation alongside local police. Immediate fallout and nationwide response. The shooting prompted a temporary lockdown in parts of downtown Washington and intensified security measures around the White House. Public officials described the incident as a targeted attack on uniformed personnel. In a national address following the shooting, President Donald Trump condemned the incident as an act of terror and ordered a comprehensive review of Afghan nationals admitted under the 2021 evacuation program. As a result, immigration processing for Afghan applicants was temporarily suspended pending a full review of vetting procedures. Additionally, the federal government ordered the deployment of 500 more National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. This increased the already significant Guard presence in the city, which had been operating under an ongoing crime emergency declaration since August. Public reaction and broader concerns. D.C. officials emphasized that the incident appeared to be a targeted attack on military personnel. At the same time, civil rights groups urged the public not to generalize the suspect's actions to Afghan refugees as a whole, warning against stigmatization and urging balanced public discourse. The shooting also reignited debate surrounding the role of military personnel patrolling U.S. streets. Critics argue that increased militarization blurs the line between domestic policing and military operations, while supporters claim the deployments are necessary to combat rising crime and protect high-profile federal areas. What happens next? Going forward, the FBI continues to investigate the suspect's background, motive, and any potential connections. Afghan immigration processing remains paused while federal agencies review security and vetting protocols. Additional National Guard forces will remain in Washington as authorities reassess security needs around government facilities. The November 26 shooting stands as one of the most serious attacks on uniformed personnel in the nation's capital in recent years and is expected to influence national security policies, immigration procedures, and the debate surrounding domestic use of military forces in the United States.